Another day, another horrible take coming from Twitter. I honestly not believe really what we're about to take a look at. Like, it blows my mind that people unironically think this way. I know I shouldn't really expect any less from the folks over on Twitter. It is a complete cesspool full of the just most pseudo-intellectual individuals that you can possibly imagine. But it blows my mind that people actually think like this. That people, they like, I don't know, it comes up in their head, this concept. They think about it, if they even think about it really. They type it out on their phone or their computer, and then they hit the send button, and not one time throughout their entire time doing that do they think, man, maybe I should reconsider this take. Unfortunately, that just doesn't happen with the folks over at Twitter, man. So you guys are not going to believe what we're taking a look at today. You already saw the title. You already know what's going on. It's the new, freshest, hottest update on Twitter. What is everybody talking about? It's Anne Frank's white privilege. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. And today, well, we're going to be talking about Anne Frank's white privilege. I mean, God knows, you know, I know, we all know that Anne Frank had white privilege, and that white privilege is such a legitimate issue out there. And it was even such a prevalent issue in a place like Nazi Germany that, well, I mean, even, you know, the persecuted Jewish people out there like Anne Frank had that white privilege that they could just use to their benefit at any given time, folks. So yeah, this is probably one of the worst takes that Twitter collectively has ever had. I mean, there's been some contestants out there, man. Like, we got the Twitter Dumb Takes Hall of Fame in videos on this channel, but this is like the Michael Jordan of just brain dead takes. You know what I mean? If this brain dead take was in the NBA, it'd be averaging like 35 points a game. MVP level numbers, you know what I mean? So yeah, we're about to lose brain cells. We're about to lose IQ points. And well, honestly, I'm probably going to lose my will to live at this point. Let's go ahead and dissect one of the worst takes that this website has ever generated, which is surprising considering everything else we know. Twitter is yet again proving it's the worst for bulk bad takes, this time debating whether Anne Frank, who was hunted and killed by Nazis, had white privilege while alive. You might have noticed the late Holocaust victim was trending Saturday, but finding out why is disheartening. Some, it seems, have floated an argument that Frank benefited from white privilege in Nazi Germany, an argument that is rightly being shot down left and right. So, first off, we're gonna go ahead and get some of the basic info out of the way, that way everyone's kind of up to speed. So, if you do not know who Anne Frank is, I'd be a little surprised, but Anne Frank is one of the most famous Holocaust victims of all time. She is kind of widely revered as a hero of the entire situation, but her and her family were unfortunately hunted down and killed by the Nazis because, well, they were Jewish, and if you didn't know, in Nazi Germany, being Jewish was basically like a fatal flaw, I guess, in society. Like, you were literally persecuted and targeted by the government, rounded up and exterminated. The Holocaust is like one of the most famous historical events that's ever taken place. Like, you know what that is, you know what I mean? It's not like anyone doesn't know what that whole situation is, but Anne Frank is one of the most famous victims because of her story and everything that happened. She became famous after a book came out detailing the story of her life during Nazi Germany and everything. So Anne Frank was Jewish and white, I guess. And Twitter is basically making the argument that she had white privilege. So if you don't know what white privilege is, here's a quick rundown. Basically, it's an argument that people with fairer skin tones, primarily white people, have inherent societal privileges, especially in Western nations where like society is supposedly basically built for them. This can be as simple as not being racially profiled when walking down the street to, you know, maybe like the police not racially profiling you during a traffic stop, or maybe getting a job opportunity that someone else didn't get simply because of the color of your skin. Like, that kind of stuff is all considered white privilege. It's heavily debated whether or not it's real in the first place. But on Twitter, it's a pretty common held belief that white privilege is a thing. And apparently it's common belief that Anne Frank had white privilege. Hold on, I want to make sure I say this carefully. Yeah, Anne Frank had white privilege. Bad things happen to people with white privilege also, but don't tell the whites that. I don't understand why you said, you know, I want to make sure I say this carefully. I want to take my time on this just to give the most brain-dead dog shit take possible. Like, literally just fucking unloaded the garbage in your brain onto the timeline for everybody to see. You erased 7 IQ points off of my score with one tweet. That is a new world record. Yeah, I mean, I guess bad things happen to people with white privilege, but do they get literally killed and exterminated in the millions because of their religion? Is that really white privilege? You know, white privilege, like I said, it could be like going to the grocery store and getting treated better than like a black couple or something because of the color of your skin. Apparently, white privilege doesn't protect you from being religiously persecuted and just completely fucking have genocide literally committed against you and your family members for no reason other than you're not a member of the Aryan race. Like, if you want to talk about white privilege, let's talk about that. If you have blonde hair and blue eyes in the day, bro, like, you were safe, you know what I mean? Like, you genuinely were okay. That's some white privilege, bro. That's like something to really consider. That was the privilege in the day. I would not consider somebody who had their family rounded up and exterminated for being Jewish, I would not consider them to have white privilege. I mean, where was all that white privilege that they supposedly had once again when they were getting led into fucking gas chambers and all kinds of other crazy, horrible things? I think that like so much time has passed since World War II that like people are starting to not really know what the full extent of this was. And so it kind of softens the blow of like the historical trauma that created. And these fucking idiots don't even know what they're talking about, but then they, well, of course, that's what Twitter's perfect for. They get on Twitter and then they just say shit. Yes, all white people are safe. Y'all really need to learn how to do better at this. No one is saying the Nazis didn't target white people, just that white people can hide behind their whiteness, whereas in Nazi USA, black people can't. Go tell black people the whites got it hard. I don't know, only like 7 million of them got fucking literally murdered and completely just killed off due to their religious beliefs and everything. I honestly, I don't even know, are Jewish people considered white, like ethnically Jewish people? Are they considered white? I don't even really know. Like at the end of the day, like they might not even be considered white and you're just talking out your fucking ass. So I looked it up and there's like, it seems like a lot of debate on the subject. Some people consider Jewish people to be their own ethnicity outside of like being white, and some people kind of bunch them in with white people. I don't really know. Honestly, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change the fucking fact that this is a dumb take. Y'all really need to learn how to do better at this. Motherfucker, you're the one with like a D+ in history class on here trying to lecture other people about white privilege. Your name is fucking Commando Hot Dog. Shut up. Yeah, white people could hide behind their whiteness in Nazi Germany. I'm sure when Anne Frank, you know, was found or whatever, and her family was about to be killed by the Germans, she actually reached into her wallet and pulled out her white card and handed it to them. Like, oh, hey guys, I'm white. And they were like, oh, you're good. You know, carry on with your fucking daily routine. Or, you know, we're gonna go hunt people who aren't white. Like, I'm sure that's what fucking happened, right? You know what I mean? That's just fucking stupid. Like, that's the dumbest take I've ever heard in my life. What whiteness did they get to hide behind when they were once again being led into fucking internment camps, or not even internment camps, gas chamber camps, extermination camps, forced labor camps? Horrible, horrible things, right? Like, what whiteness could they hide behind? And the thing about it is, these people don't even feel bad for being fucking idiots. Like, they don't even feel bad for having room temperature pool water IQs. I just want to remind everybody, these people can vote in all the same elections that you can. Like, they legit get to help pick the president. So, in case you were too stupid to figure it out, Anne Frank did not benefit from white privilege, okay? Not really any of the Jewish victims of the Holocaust got to hide behind their whiteness and use it as a safety card, because no matter how white they supposedly were, that didn't matter. They were seen as ethnically inferior and seen as basically the equivalent of animals, and were fucking killed off as such. You know what I mean? If you're dumb enough to believe that that's white privilege, then, I mean, that just really kind of defeats the purpose, like in all reality, because if you want to consider white privilege such a societal issue, and then you want to turn around and say that people who were the victims of genocide had white privilege, you kind of undermine its value. Like, on one hand, you want to be like, oh, it's the strongest possible force that anyone can have. Then you turn around and basically admit that it's completely ineffective in a situation like this because it didn't get fucking used. I don't know, man. With that being said, though, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. Thank you to my channel members. Your support helps my channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, celebrating Anne Frank's white privilege she supposedly had, I guess, and signing out.